Well, I'm so sorry about that. It's storming over here, and I guess the power cut
You're
out.
good. I don't know why the phone is still ringing.
Oh, oh, I can't hear it on my side, so
I know it's still ringing on my end. I was like, what the heck? Okay, what was I saying?
okay. So you said as long as he's on his medication, he's fine because we've seen him go crazy, put green crosses on the wall to keep out evil and police officers and things like that. But what kind of medication does he take? Do you know?
I don't know at
No.
all.
Okay.
Um, but even on his medication, he's still not a good person.
Doesn't seem like he
I've
is.
actually, there was actually one day, so the puppy pads, I don't know if you knew about that.
Yes.
The puppy pads, that was given to them after I had gotten my last dog, Vettel, after she was stolen. Um, I don't remember if she was stolen or if she got out of the yard and was hit by a car. It was one of the two, honestly. So I gave them the puppy pads, but before that, they had newspapers.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember this day vividly because I ran into the room, into Donald Jr.'s room, because of how scared I was hearing his dad say this. He had stepped in Hershey's uh, poop on the newspapers.
Yeah.
And what I heard that really freaked me out was, he got really upset about it. And he tells Marie, you need to clean up the poop and my shoe. Like there was no question like no question, like, can you do this? It was demanding.
Uh-huh.
Like he told her, you need to do this. I'm like, well, you got your daughter literally in her room across from the bathroom that can do it for you, but you have your wife doing it. Doesn't make any sense.
Well, since it was an accident, shouldn't it be his responsibility to clean his shoe?
My point exactly. I'm just saying, like,
And speaking of dogs,
he's
here,
more than competent to do that. Marie is, she can't really do much. She's not
yeah, she
frail enough, I guess you
she
could
seems
say.
she seems a bit feeble. Yes, I remember
Yeah.
seeing her at the
So
car show. Speaking of dogs, I have a personal question. Were you in the house with Hershey?
yes,
Is it true that Hershey was able to pee in old McDonald's cups?
that I don't know about. I don't know if they did that before I was there or after.
Okay, because yeah, that was the thing is that Hershey apparently was rather than taking Hershey out to go to the bathroom, Hershey would pee on pee pads and in old McDonald's cups, and a lot of the community is very impressed that a dog could be trained to do that at all. So I was kind
I was actually surprised what dogs can do. I actually had a dog at one point that actually used the litter box. Like
of
I was not up in time to take the dog to the bathroom outside, and I woke up and the dog was peeing in the litter box. So you would be surprised what animals can do. So
is there any more you want to freestyle, or do you want one of these questions? Because a few people are curious about a few things.
go ahead and ask a question. That works for me.
Okay, so there's rumor going around that Brother Chu pulled a gun on you, and it's possibly that it was, and Tofia Chu said it was a BB gun, so it doesn't matter. Can you elaborate on
Uh,
that?
it, it was not on me. It was on my boyfriend and one of my old friends. Him and I are no longer friends anymore because of the situation. But it was on two separate occasions. My boyfriend was at work, um, and Donald pulled the gun on him. There is also a video of Donald admitting to pulling the gun on my friend. That's on my TikTok.
Okay. Um, People also would like a little more elaboration on the we believe two times that Donald had done damage to your boyfriend's car. I think there was two times he damaged the car, and then one was a hit and run. Correct?
Yes. One, the first time he damaged the car, he was trying to set the tires on fire. The second time he came to where my boyfriend is at. where we used to stay, and he smashed the windows with a pickaxe and popped the tires.
And that's the one you posted
The
the
same
pictures of,
tires.
right?
Yes, it was the same tires he tried to set on fire.
How far apart were these incidences?
Just a couple days apart.
Oh, so he didn't. He was inept the first time, and so I had to try again.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've seen them. We've seen Donald drive erratically. So what happened with the hit and run?
So the hit and run, we were actually heading back to a friend's house. Um, I said where we were staying, but it was actually a friend's house. We were heading back to our friend's house from my mom's house. I had to go grab something from her, and we were going down the street, and we saw Donald, and we went straight because we were both going the same direction. We went straight. So my boyfriend goes to do a U-turn, and all of a sudden Donald's doing the same U-turn in the exact same place. So we tried to speed up to get away from him. I called the cops because at the time he was not supposed to be anywhere near me. So I was on the phone with the cops, to let them know, hey, this is happening right now. He's chasing us. While I was on the phone with the cops, he hit the car and he was latched onto the car there for a little bit. My boyfriend almost lost control of the car. He got the e-brake on and everything. Donald backed up from the car, pulled off to the right of us, and took off.
Okay. Do you know the date of that?
I have it on my other phone.
I know you have it.
Um,
You know, I remember you posted a TikTok about it with the bumper falling off. Did you post that TikTok on the day
yeah.
of?
I think I did it. I think it was the day of or the day after. The day of. It was the day of.
Okay. So one thing we originally connected on, wanted to talk about. Speaking of hit and run, I apologize for the pun, but the cars. Donald's obsession with cars.
Ugh, I don't know where that even came from, honestly. He first told me he started just going around and following uh a bunch of people around and going to races. That's how that started.
Yeah, didn't he get arrested at a illegal car meet?
So what happened was they got popped at a a race, and it was at I think it was at Office, a street called Office.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he had got court summons that weren't getting delivered to him, or he was just ignoring them. I don't know. He ended up getting a bench warrant,
Okay,
um,
so when they
and then
were
we got pulled
questioning
over.
people, he got caught on a bench warrant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, how he got caught? He didn't know he had a warrant. We had gotten pulled over one day, and the officer we had got pulled over because he didn't turn his lights on. So the cop stopped us, and he tells him, "Oh, you have a warrant. We have to take you in." And of course, I kind of freaked out at first, but then I was like, I didn't care.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, good riddance. He's gone. But obviously he came back.
So, do you know what kind of cars Donald's more into?
Lately, because he's trying to copy what I want to do, he's been into Mustangs.
Mustangs. Okay.
Yes. But his most favorite are Volkswagens, like the Jettas, Passats, Golfs,
Oh, I used to have a
Jetta
GTI.
wagons.
I used to have a GTI. I will tell
Oh,
you.
no way.
Oh yeah, I loved it. I will tell you, because remember I saw him at a car show. Um, he kept coming back to my car a lot, quite a bit, which is how I was able to get such an up close look at him. And I must admit, the most concerning thing I saw is as the day went on, partway through the day, I saw physical blood on the front of his teeth. I guess
Yeah.
his gums
He
started
does
bleeding.
not brush his teeth.
Oh, I could tell that wasn't on a question I had. I didn't need to know that.
Yeah.
That was already fact.
Yeah. His none of them do.
He was
Let's just put that out there.
earlier he was eating a lemon donut, so I think the lemon donut must have been too rough for his teeth.
Possibly.
Oh, okay. So here's a funny fan question that people want to know. Do you have any suspect that Tofia Chu might have a crush on Donald?
Oh, there's no doubt about that. I
So,
mean, it's kind of like, how would I explain it? Because the first time I actually came into his life back in high school, that was when she did not like me. The first time she met me, she did not like me.
like you were taking her
Like,
man.
just, yeah.
Ooh. Is there
So
any
for
was there
over
any
7 years, that lady has not liked me.
is there any signs or things you've seen that lead you more into that?
Um, how she's so open to telling her own brother when she does not have clothes on.
Yeah, it's a little sus.
Because the night that Hershey was actually attacked by another dog, she was more concerned on getting her clothes back on, is the words that she had told him. And I'm like, that's not something you tell your brother. You could just be like, I gotta do something. I'll be right out. Give me like 2 seconds. Like, that's what I would say.
Hmm.
But to be so open that you don't have clothes on is not a brother sister conversation.
Yeah. Okay. Another
So,
question I got is people want to know if you can describe like not just saying gross or whatnot, but describe with words like an analogy or some form of description of what Donald smells like.
oh my God. Um, can I answer it with I would have to tell him how to put deodorant on or when to put it on, if that helps.
Did the excuse me, did the deodorant help?
No, because what he used was like the cologne spray. That's what he would
Oh,
use. He didn't use like
like
actual deodorant.
like Axe body spray,
Yeah,
like that stuff you use when you're in high school.
yeah. Like he would spray one on each side and then diagonal in front of his shirt.
So he just copies the commercial then,
Yeah,
verbatim.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I want a little more. I guess other people do too. A little more elaboration on the Rose toy.
Oh my God. So I actually, it was mine to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And there would be times I would close the door, the bedroom door, before I would go to work. So yes, I was working when I lived with him. I would go home, like when I would get off of work, I would go home, obviously, and the door would be open. And that was one of the things that went missing one day.
What is the Rose
And
toy?
it's the, I don't know, I don't want to say it because there are people outside, but it's something that adults play with.
Oh, I had no
Yeah,
clue what it is. I was trying to look up context of it. I couldn't find out. So
it's
similar
an
similar
adult
as
toy.
similar as to what someone would say like a rabbit. A rabbit
Yeah,
is an adult toy. It's a
yeah,
different one, but okay. So I've never heard Rose toy. I get it now.
yeah.
So so what you're telling me is both of you guys used it?
I don't know if she used it. But
Well,
every time I would
she
use
said
it,
it was
I always
hers,
cleaned it after.
but she said it was hers, so I'm assuming she used it.
It was mine first. I
The
bought
first
it.
part, the part where you're saying first.
Yeah, I was actually the original person that bought that, and it went missing while over there. If it goes missing and all of a sudden she has it, just gotta put two and two together. You know what I mean?
I'd rather not put any numbers together right now.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so we know what it is and kind of the timeline. What happened? You bought it. It went missing. When you left, you took it, and she said she went on live saying, "Ah, she took my rose toy."
No, she took it from me.
She took
So
it
she
from you,
took it out of her brother's room.
but didn't she say that you took it?
I don't know about that one.
I have to maybe I'll have to relook that back up. I'm pretty new to all this, so please excuse me if I get stuff wrong.
No, you're good. You're
Okay,
good.
so I think the last basic question like this is something you had said, or I saw a rumor of something that you had said, so I want to know if you actually stated this and if it's actually true that you've seen lolly stuff on Donald's computer.
Um, I've never actually really seen the computers. The only one I really seen is the one that Tofia would sit at when she went live.
Oh,
And the
okay.
only time I was ever on that computer was to make a slideshow for my cousin when he passed away.
Okay. So is
Other
there
than that, I
anything like
don't know.
that on Donald's phone or anything you've seen him?
That I do not know about. I've never really seen his dad's phone.
I meant Junior.
Oh, Junior.
That's what I thought we were talking about.
Oh, um, I haven't seen
Or you were I
something like that on his phone, but
what?
he had been talking to other girls.
Okay. Do you want to elaborate more on that?
So I've actually caught him at one point talking to his ex on Facebook. I had I had gone on his phone when he was sleeping because his phone kept like vibrating. So I got on it and I see these girls and I started blocking some of them. I woke him up to ask him like why he was talking to his ex. And he goes, "Oh, she just something just wanted to talk to him or something." And I was like, "Well, that's kind of weird, you know, like we were together at the time. She's your ex. You shouldn't be talking to her."
Mm-hmm.
So I blocked her on his account. He came home that same night because I had blocked her before he went to work. He came back home and she was unblocked and they were still talking. So he was talking to multiple girls while him and I were together.
Is that the only time you've caught him?
That's the only time I caught him. After that, he never let me see his phone. Every time I tried to pick it up, he would grab it from me. So I don't know if he was receiving pictures from any of these girls he was talking to. I don't know since he wouldn't let me see his phone after that.
Um. Okay. What do you have to any background or anything on Tofia?
She is just an all around a horrible person. We had, I'm not sure if you heard about the hamster that we used to have. Um, it had gotten out of the cage. It would climb out of the cage at times. And one night it had got out of the cage when I was at work and Donald Jr. was getting ready to go to work. And I was in the room, you know, trying to clear things so we could find the hamster. And Marie was trying to come in the room, and Sophia, I guess, was trying to either go to her room or the bathroom. And I turn around in time to see Sophia pushing Marie out of the way.
That's not good. Should treat your mother better than that.
Yeah. Um, Not only does she talk to her mom horribly, calling her mom a bitch, sure you've seen those clips of her lives
Yeah.
from that. But even when she was not on live, she was constantly yelling at that lady, yelling at Marie.
Hmm. Um. So, tell us about Marie.
So Marie, she pretty much did like everything in that household. She was always cooking, cleaning up after the dog, cleaning the bathroom. Um, like they would wake her up just for her to make something so they can eat. Like they did not let this lady rest at all. She couldn't do anything. She would probably sleep for like 5 minutes and they would want something to eat, so they would wake her up and have her make something to eat.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, I have two things from that Donald said about you that I wanted clarification on. Um,
Okay.
One of them, he's saying that you were arrested on April 29th, but you will deny it.
I was actually not arrested on the 29th. It was 4/29.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually home all day. Um, I was literally helping clean the house. I was texting my boyfriend all day. I was trying to make plans to actually go over that day, but ended up getting too tired. So I was never arrested. Not once at all was I arrested for any situation.
Okay, and then the other one is that when you were let go from your last job, Donald said why you were let go, and just it'd be good to have clarification of why you were actually let go from that job.
So
Do you know what
I
you
was
know what he said,
actually,
right?
I do know what he said.
Okay.
Um, but what actually, the truth of that actually happened is he had a phone that he had bought for me that I was using because I had given my brother my other phone and I needed a phone to communicate with one of my students' parents, one of the mother. So I had her number, and when he took the phone back, her number was on that phone. Um, Also, some explicit pictures were on that phone. So he picked a picture
Can you
of
elaborate
me
on
sitting in the
what?
bathtub.
Okay, of you.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was a not suitable for work picture. He sent it to her, made some accusations about me, and I called the vice principal, where I was working. I went to her right away, um, when I had found out about it, and I called her and I explained the situation. I said, I know who sent the pictures. I currently do not have that phone, so I, you know, took matters into my own hands at that point to explain to the vice principal and the principal, because the principal had called me as well. I told them the situation. I said, it's not me. I don't have that phone. Um, it took going to, it had gone to detectives. So I had to go and talk to detectives. Detectives called the phone number, had my boyfriend and I put our phones on the table, called the phone number because I'd gotten my phone back, called the phone number that the messages were coming from, and lo and behold, Donald had answered the phone.
Mm-hmm.
So
What happened from then on?
from there, they had another hearing that I had to go to with HR. Um, we talked about the same thing, the pictures and stuff, and they finally said about it. week later, they determined that I was not suitable to work there anymore, and they had told me, you can ask for the reasons why, or the reason why. So me thinking it was just about the text messages, the email I got back was saying that the accusations, which is crazy to me, that they know about it, and I haven't said anything to anyone about this until this very moment. Um, they were saying about hugging students, calling students names that shouldn't have been said, apparently giving weed to students when I don't smoke myself. So the only people that know about what was the reasons of why I was terminated from that job, the only people that know about it is Donald and his sister. This is the first time I've actually said it to someone else
Hmm.
other than my mom. So,
Okay.
yeah. So they were the ones who had said it first. Um, but yeah, like I said, I got the reasons why, and I had never told Donald, and I never told his sister, but somehow they know about it, which doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Hmm. Um. Well, I mean that's kind of gone through all the questions I have. You said you have a lot of dirt on them. Anything else you want to come forward with?
I'm gonna do that actually on a later time.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, because people like elaborations on some of these things that you were a part of. They want the inside scoop. You were there living with them, so these questions can get answered. Because me personally, of what I've learned of the whole Tofia verse or the Chew verse, is my favorite character, which is Roach Chew. I don't know if you know.
Oh God.
You don't know Roach Chew?
Um, the account, or
The the
I know there was a
the character.
the actual roaches that were in the apartment that
Yeah,
was
so
nasty.
there's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of roaches, but the community likes to pretend it's one character called Roach Chew, and the first or the most prominent appearance is on the side of her pink cup when on one of the live streams it crawled up the side of the
Yeah,
pink cup. Yeah, basically the disgusting
yeah,
roaches in the house.
yeah.
My
There was a bunch.
that is my favorite character. It's either that or Mickey Chew.
Yeah,
Um,
I wanted to tear that thing up so bad.
the Mickey Chew.
Yes, it was terrifying.
Well, don't worry. It's been immortalized as a decal, which you can get on my website at cursedecals.com.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I was like,
Gotta throw a
that
little
made me
promo.
laugh so hard.
Well, I'm glad you like it. I work with a good artist here in the community. Um, she likes she's a very good artist and draws some locales up very quickly. She's really good at that.
Yeah,
Queen Star
they
Streams.
actually blamed me for that.
They blamed everyone for that. What's funny is they blamed absolutely everyone except for me. I didn't put it on there, but I thought I would have immediately been blamed since I make it.
Yeah, I don't
But
think she knows exactly who did it, but they're like, "Oh no, like Angie did everything. Angie has people following me." And I'm like, "Dude, I don't have the time for that. I
yeah, I mean, I
actually
can
have a life."
well, I can kind of do my own tell on this as well since we're recording. Cuz people assume that I put it on their vehicle when what it is I was at a car show. I had my car there and I'm like, "Okay, cool. I'll bring a lot of my decal stock to sell." I see them there. So I just, I mean, what I do is very innocent. I just, a few people I know, I go, hey, those are um, people who are infamous online, blah blah blah. Here, have a free decal of them. Look what they drove over in, and I gave out a few free decals. So
Hmm.
whoever put it on there is could have been a few people. I don't know, but all I know is a few people in the city of Albuquerque in their city have Tofiachu decals. I usually give out free Tofiachu decals to people who live in Albuquerque because I feel they
Mm,
deserve it. If they have a share a town with
yeah,
her, they can have a decal.
yeah.
So I'm glad you
But
enjoy it. Um, yeah, you're.
he was trying to convince me to go to that car show. I think it was a cruise, right?
Yeah, it was a cruise down to East Mountain. Um,
Yeah. He
it
was trying to convince me to go to that, and I did not want to go.
Yeah, it was great. We had like my car. They had the muscle cars and Lamborghinis and muscle car, the JDM cars and lifted trucks and classic cars. Just all mix of cars. And then this fucking piece of shit Land Rover with with a taped rear window, a rear window made of
Yeah,
tape.
I wanted to take that off because I bought that tape.
Just take your tape back.
So, yeah, there's actually a pillow in there that I won at round one,
Consider
and
it
they don't
gone.
have them
Consider it gone.
anymore.
Consider it gone.
I'm pretty sure it is now, but I was so upset about that. So, yeah, I
We would
gotta go back inside.
Yeah, we will.
Gotta.
I'd love to do this with you again. Have another conversation. Right, like I said, write some notes down. I'll get some more questions going because people are very interested in the Lord.
Yeah.
So, okay, again, thank you for speaking with me, and I will talk to you later.